Welcome, everybody. Episode 3 of the Harrison Brinker Show. That's right, the world-renowned, universally loved, Emmy Award snubbed Harrison Brinker Show. This is episode 3. Today we talk about animals getting hurt on Instagram, fishing, and what the heck else was it? Acting, and how it doesn't make any sense. To your host, Harrison Brinker, which is me, but I'm wearing a different outfit because it's kind of a different part of the show, blah, 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 blah. Speaking of a different part of the show, you guys see this in the news? Another whistleblower died under mysterious consequences, ready to testify for Boeing. That's a shame. That's 2 now. There's actually 10 more whistleblowers ready to go, and they're all seemingly safe. But let's just save ourselves some time here. I have a list of all the ways they're going to kill themselves too. Let's not kid ourselves. That's what's going to happen. The first one, unfortunately, hanged himself in a Virginia hotel. The second one shot himself in the head. The third one shot himself in the head twice. The fourth one got sucked out of one of their planes. The fifth one drowned in Barack Obama's backyard. The sixth one took a long-term camping trip to Japan. The seventh one died of autoerotic asphyxiation. The eighth one shot himself in the head 3 times. The ninth one set himself on fire to protest genocide. And the 10th one stabbed himself 47 times. That really hurts me to hear. But, you know, that's what happens when you go against the government. So, enjoy, everybody, the 3rd episode. I hope I don't now die in mysterious circumstances, but if I do, just know it wasn't me. And, yeah, stick around, because the show's only going to get better from now.
Today with a jacket, but not a jean jacket. No, this isn't a jacket. This is a shirt. Sorry, I'm a little off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up. This is the first time I've even really spoken out loud today, other than with a nice phone call to my mother. But you know, after you wake up and your voice is just like this, and I think, first of all, does that happen to girls? I don't know. Second of all, I feel like it should, but like I haven't noticed that. Second of all, I feel like that happens with your brain too. You know, you get a phone call, like someone calls you at 7 in the morning, and you're just like, "Hello," and they could be like, "Hey, this is the Dingleberry store, and we're here to sell you all these." You'd be like, "Oh, yeah, great. Wait, huh? What?" It'd take you a second to just be like, "What? What's happening?" Now, of course, I've been up for many, many hours, but I haven't spoken to anyone. So now sitting down and being like, "I'm gonna record for an hour just off the top of the dome." We'll just see how it goes. It should be all right. Welcome to episode 3 of the Harrison Brinker Show. I think it's episode 3. I still haven't actually, at the time of me recording this, I have yet to actually upload any of these episodes. So when you're watching them, you're like, "Oh wow, 3 weeks of Harrison recording back to back." It's actually been like a month and a half since I recorded all the episodes, but we'll leave that. You know. Keep that in the back of your mind. Don't really think about that. Like, for example, I still haven't done an interview yet. It's been a month and a half. I filmed an interview with Colin for episode 1. Last week's episode was supposed to be with Jason. And maybe it was with Jason, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. At the time that I'm recording this now, there hasn't even been an interview recorded. So maybe it was with Jason, maybe it was with Colin, maybe it was with someone else. This episode might be with Colin. I don't know. I think the more I think about it, I think it would be a fun idea to do just every interview is with Colin. Like you see in this episode of Colin's in it, it's going to be called Colin Blair. CALL-IN. I don't know if that word needs a hyphen grammatically, but it kind of it cues you in of like, oh, it's a joke. Anyway, maybe the show is just going to be me and Colin, and only very seldom do we have anyone else on the show. I don't know if it's going to be me and Colin for an entire episode, like going back and forth host and co-host, or both co-hosts, or if it's mostly me for the first half hour, and then the last like 20 minutes is me and Colin just bull crapping. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. That's why, as I'm recording this, they haven't gone up yet, because by next week, when I record the next episode, episode 4, I might realize, holy crap, we've been doing this entirely wrong. I need to move back home buy a studio and do it all live, and we have people juggling and balancing plates and lighting people on fire and throwing axes at babies. Like, maybe that's what the show is. So I'm still giving myself that out to not actually upload any of these. I think it would be kind of funny, now that I say that, like, to get up to episode 100 and not have released any of these episodes at all. Which, if you're watching this, obviously they've been released. But this joke is just for me now. It would be kind of funny if I, record 20 episodes and they're just perfectly done, hilarious, but they never see the light of day. What's that for? I still haven't fixed the monitor behind my camera. I think it's very likely it's just an HDMI cord issue, but I don't have any spare HDMI cords. The one I do have, I don't have any spare HDMI cords long enough, so I might have made it sound like in the first episode that I can just see myself behind the camera and the computer screen is just behind the camera, but it's not. There's still a TV behind the camera, but it's just off. So if I look over at the screen, it's just so me thinking I can be quick enough to see what I look like while I'm talking. I also just realized that I can't tell if my hair looks all right or not. I think it looks fine. But when I turn, you can tell my trick is just to take all the hair on the top of my head and push it back and just let it kind of do whatever it wants, like the Ace Ventura in the back of the head thing here. Which is why generally I wear hats. Like now. There's a new hat I bought at Ross, Dress for Less. I think, honestly, I look like with the blue tie, I look like a draft pick. If I had my phone here, I would act out getting a phone call from Sean McDermott and being like, hello? I'm on the team? I'm going to play with Josh? Oh my gosh, I'll be right down. Great. Anyway, so now maybe I'll just see that kind of clean it up a little bit. I can at least pretend like the hat's, not just there for practicality. Anyway, this is episode 3. So there was your intro. I don't really have much else. I don't know. Like, should I just talk about my day? What should the intros be? I'm still figuring it out. Like, I could be open with you and say, like, here's what I did today. I talked to my sister. I went to Walmart. But I don't think that's very interesting just because it's factually accurate. You know what I mean? I could tell you how I went fishing the other day and this guy came up to me like, I've heard nothing but nice things about people who fish. Hang on. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here. Actually, you know what? We're cutting the intro. This is the end of the intro. Now, if I want to go into my day, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Maybe it's not. Never mind. It's not. This is the part. Just know that my rants and me critiquing Hollywood or anything like that, that'll come later. But for right now, this is just me easing you into the show. So the other day I was fishing, and I've always heard nice things like, oh yeah, guys will just come up to you and talk to you and chit-chat. And there's been a couple people that have at least asked me, like, hey, how's the water today? Oh, any luck? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's not bad. People are generally very nice, but I was fishing the other day at this new pond, and this guy came up to me, and he was just like trying to give me advice, which I appreciate, but I'm just embarrassed because, like, it's not like I don't know how to fish, but and actually it is like I don't know how to fish. I don't know how to fish. So this guy was telling me, like, hey, you should cast over here, and pointed at this big rock, and I cast, and it was about 50 yards away from where he pointed to. So I'm just like, oh, hang on, this guy doesn't realize yet that I'm an idiot, but he will soon enough. So I cast again and got right where he was pointing at, and he was like, oh, here, I see a trout in the water. You should try to catch it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the point, my friend. But now that you're giving me all this pressure, I'm like, shit, I better catch it, even though I haven't caught anything in the last, 3 weeks. So, of course, the hook goes right by the fish. He doesn't even bat an eye, if fish can even blink. Is batting an eye blinking? I just assume it is. What else can you do with your eyes? What's batting mean? Anyway, so this guy came up to me and was talking to me and showing me where to fish, and I was trying, but I didn't have any success. And then he just walked away. I kind of tried to ask him a question. I was like, oh, you come here a lot? He's like, yeah, I come here all the time. I grew up, like, when my kids were growing up, I would come here all the time. which I'm kind of just like, all right, don't need your whole life story. Like, how the hell was I supposed to know that you live nearby? But whatever. And then he just walked away. But I think it was more like, I understand conversations come to an end and the guy walks away, but it wasn't like a very organic ending to the conversation. We were kind of mid-conversation and just left. I'm like, all right, see you later. But I went fishing again since then. That was like, whatever, Monday. And then Thursday I went fishing again. And I hear all this stuff about like, well, a couple things about, people say worms are for babies and don't use worms, use lures and all this crap and rig your line up in a way that's, worms are too easy. That's basically what they're saying. So they dish out critiques if you use a worm and you're above a certain age. I just turned 23 the other day, so I'm getting up there. I probably shouldn't be, and I wouldn't wear Crocs or light up shoes either, no matter how fun they are. So I want to be a mature fisherman. So every time I've gone fishing, I've used lures, but I haven't caught a damn fish. So I went back to worms, and every single cast I got a bite. What do you know? Oh, you can't use worms. It's for freaking babies. I'm like, well, shit, it works. Pardon my French. But why would I purposely shoot myself in the foot? Like, if I could also go in and just use a net. Maybe I wouldn't go that far. Like, that kind of takes some of it is just for the fun. And I understand it's probably more fun. It's more satisfying to use a lure. But, like, if I need to get to a point where I'm eating these fish, like, I don't give a shit if I go and use a net or freaking use a stick of dynamite and all of them die. Like, I'm hungry, buddy. Of course, right now, I go home. I catch them, I release them. I don't eat them. But, oh, the most fun thing about starting a fire is using a magnifying glass and pointing it at a leaf. Yeah, it's probably a little more fun than using a lighter. I know you know what a lighter is. I just had one right nearby, so I'm just showing you. It's probably a little more fun to use a magnifying glass than a lighter. Using like a water bottle, like a National Treasure 2 or whatever that he uses, like to refract the light. Like I don't know why I brought that up. See, I'm telling you, I'm really bouncing off the walls here. I actually have no coordination or anything going on in the show. But the idea that it's stupid to use worms to fish when they work is like saying you shouldn't use a lighter to start a fire. Like, yeah, you can use a flint and steel Minecraft, and it works, but so what? It works. I was going to say something very offensive, and I'm not going to. But yeah, so that's my half rant. But to get into the real rant, you'll have to bear with me while we break for just a moment. Welcome to episode 3 of the Harrison Brinker Show.
Making cinnamon rolls here. I forget how long to put them in, but I checked and it says bake 13 to 17 minutes or until.
All right, I like movies. I went to school for film production and at Penn State. Sorry for all the ands. I obviously didn't go for public speaking, right, people? Although, let's get back to reality here. I like movies. I like watching movies. I watched Boogie Nights last night. Great film. I like Succession. I like everything. I like good stuff. I like bad stuff. I know I'm not really into fantasy. Game of Thrones, as much as I've heard great things, I've heard it's the greatest show ever, I don't think I'll ever watch it because it's just not my style. I'm sure there's a lot of great gay pornos out there that a lot of gay guys love, but it's not really my thing. So I'll leave that where it belongs. Anyway, I don't understand good acting. You see these compilations on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Greatest acting compilation. Of course, you see the scenes of, Casey Affleck stealing the cop's gun, and trying to kill himself. I don't really know how that's good acting. It's not bad. I don't think it's poorly done. I don't think it's stupid. I'm in with the illusion no matter what. But, to see that scene, I just don't, people are able to look at that and go, that's good acting. I don't have that. So, like I said, this isn't a critique on acting or blah, blah, blah. It's just more of, me noticing in myself that I don't have that, awareness to go, that's good acting or that's bad acting. If you're on the screen, that's enough for me to just buy into whatever you're saying. Now, there's stupid things that happen in movies that I'm like, that would never happen. Or a line written, that's a cheesy line. But acting, I have a hard time telling whether or not something's good. So you'll see monologues on Breaking Bad or just whatever, all these scenes where you're like, wow, I guess that's good acting. That's all I can say. I can't watch and go, that is good acting. I'm just like, I trust whoever made this list is a good actor. And acting is just weird to me in general. Like, the idea that there are good and bad actors. Like, I guess I get, like, okay, Daniel Day-Lewis's method, and he stays in character throughout all the behind the scenes. Like, okay, I get why that's better than just Amy Schumer showing up for the popcorn movie being like, hey, Jerry, I owe you a favor. You're my friend. And just whatever, acting like herself. I don't know. I haven't watched the movie. Actually, I haven't seen any Daniel Day-Lewis movies either. Sorry. Like, I get it. I get the logic behind, like, why someone is, what to do to become a better actor. But just actors in general, like, I don't think it's that hard. And I respect it, I guess I have to say that, because I want to be in film or do something with movies or production of some sort, so I don't want to just burn all my bridges here and be like, I don't respect actors. It's not that I don't, but it's also like, it's just such a weird job. You know, half the time you're even on a set, it's 9 hours of you sitting and waiting until it's your turn to talk for 3 seconds. And then they go, and if you do a bad job, the director goes, do it again. He might yell at you, but, like, you're going to do it until you do it right. Unless you're like Eric Stoltz and get fired from Back to the Future. But that's a stretch. The only reason people even know that reference is because that's like the one time that's literally ever happened. You know what I mean? So it's not that bad. So, actors are weird. I don't really understand what it takes to be a good actor. So I'm going to try a monologue here from Breaking Bad. And we'll see if I can pull it off, or if acting is actually a lot easier than people give it credit for. Like, maybe no one's just tried to do this themselves. So this is a scene. This is in Breaking Bad. Walter's divorced or whatever, separated from Skylar. And his son, I think someone punched him in the face or something. Maybe Mike punched him in the face, and then Flynn goes to see him and sees, like, why do you... Anyway, the scene's not set up here. It's just a random copy-pasted paragraph. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like, Walter Jr. sees that Bryan Cranston has, like, a black eye or something, and then Bryan Cranston gives him this whole crap story about, like, yeah, I fell over and da-da-da. So that happened in the episode already. Now, this is, like, the next morning. This is the monologue he gives him. So let's see if this is hard to act. I don't think it will be, but maybe it will be. I'm not going to do an impression of Bryan Cranston. This is how I would perform it if I was the actor. I think. I'm just reading it. I haven't practiced. My father died. Hang on. Let me get into character here. I'm me. All right. My father died when I was 6. You knew that, right? Yeah, he had Huntington's disease. It destroys portions of the brain, like affects muscle control, leads to dementia. It's just a nasty disease. It's genetic. It terrified my mother that I might have it, so she ran tests on me when I was a kid, but I came up clean. My father fell very ill when I was 4 or 5. See? All right, that was bad. I can tell that was bad, because I was like, I found that... Yeah, all right, so let's see it. And my father fell ill. That's not how I would say it, so it's kind of tough, too. My father fell very ill when I was 4 or 5. He spent a lot of time in the hospital. My mother would tell me so many stories about my father. She would talk about him all the time. I knew about his personality, how he treated people. I even knew he liked how he shit. All right, that was tough. I'll give you that, Brian. That was a bad one. Let's start over. I even knew how he liked his steaks cooked. Medium rare. Just like you. I knew things about my father. I had a lot of information. It's because people would tell me these things. They'd paint this picture of my father for me, and I always pretended that that's who I saw too. Who I remembered, but it was a lie. In truth, I only have one real, actual memory of my father. It must have been right before he died. My mother would take me to the hospital to visit him, and I would remember the smell in there, the chemicals. It was as if they used up every single cleaning product they could find in a 20-mile radius. Like, they didn't want you smelling the sick people. Maybe I should have emphasized that differently. Like, they didn't want you smelling the sick people. Oh, there was this stench of Lysol and bleach. You could just feel it coating your lungs. Anyway, lying in bed is my father. Oh, wait, I screwed that up too. Anyway, There lying in bed is my father. He's all twisted up. And my mom, she puts me up on her lap and she's sitting on the bed next to him so I can get a good look at him. But really, he just scares me. And he's looking right at me. But I can't even be sure that he knows who I am. And your grandmother's talking, trying to be cheerful, as she does. But the only thing I could remember is him breathing. Oh, this rattling sound, like if you were shaking an empty spray paint can. Like there was nothing in him. Anyway. That is the only real memory I have of my father. I don't want you to think of me that way. Shit. Anyway, that is the only real memory that I have of my father. I don't want you to think of me the way I was last night. I don't want that to be the memory you have of me when I'm gone. Jesse! That took a little longer than I expected. But it's just proof, acting is hard. If I had a little rehearsal, I think I could have pulled it off fine. But I think my problem with acting is, I don't think I would only be able to act as myself. I don't even think I have the self, what's the word? Respect. I'm too self-conscious to even try to be anybody else. Like, if I were a big actor or whatever, if I were up for a big role and they're like, yeah, you have to be a girl, I'd be like, I can't be a girl. And it's not an anti-girl thing or a trans thing or whatever, cross-dressing thing. It's more just I don't think I could pull that off, so I'm not going to bother. I can do a good impression of myself. In fact, I'm doing one now. The whole Harrison Brinker Show thing, this isn't exactly how I talk in real life, to be quite honest with you. It's how I feel. But I don't wear suits every day. This is kind of a character in its own right, I guess. I suppose. If I'm being honest with myself. So yeah, I don't get what makes a good actor. I just try that. How would a good actor have done it? Not hesitate on certain words, or, he would have emphasized this instead of that. I'm like, I don't know. I could try again, My father, when I was young, here, I'll try to remember it. Maybe remembering the lines also probably helps, because then you can kind of put them, you can sift out all the crap and then poop out a good one. I'll try to tell you that story about the dad from Breaking Bad as if it's me telling you a story on the Harrison Brinker Show. When I was 5, my dad had Huntington's disease. It just affects different parts of your brain. I don't really exactly know. But I would have all these stories that people told me. Here's what your dad was like. He was always this and this and this and this to people, I even I even knew how he liked his steaks, medium rare. Just these things that people would tell me. But I realized I'd never really had any of my own memories with my dad. It was always just things different people told me. But I have one real memory that I remember of my father. And it was one, it must have been right before he died. And me and my mom went to visit him at the hospital. And she had me on her lap, sitting next to the hospital bed. And I was just looking at him. I was scared. He was looking at me, but he was just this broken, empty guy. You could just hear him breathing, it was like rattling an empty spray paint can. You could just hear whatever. And it scared me. And that's the only memory that I have of my dad. So I hope, audience, that when I'm gone, that the way you saw me last night, I hope that's not the memory that you have of me. Hey, how was that? I kind of blew away myself, to be quite honest with you. I think that went on a little long because, to be quite honest, as I am wont to do, I write down these ideas I don't know what good acting is, Breaking Bad monologue. That's all I have written on the, well, you can't really see it, on the notes here for the episode. So I'll start it I'll read the monologue, I'll talk about acting, kind of just let my brain go. But I didn't expect to recite then the monologue, but that was pretty good if you ask me, for having no preparation other than just reading it while you watch me read it. So I guess either I'm a good actor Or I'm right, and acting's not that hard. Oh, you need to learn your line? Yeah, duh. Maybe it's different because, like, now if there's writers involved and you remember the line but you don't remember it exactly, like, obviously I didn't just repeat that verbatim. Good, that's a 25-cent word. So maybe if someone had written me a monologue like that where it was, like, very detailed, and then I read it and then butcher it, even if it's good acting, they're like, dude, read it how it's written. That might be a little harder. Maybe there's that. Maybe there's background, behind-the-scenes politics going on, keeping people from being able to act well. But if it really is just remembering your lines and then repeating them with a kind of a weird accent, like, oh, I don't really talk like Walter White, but Walter White talks like that, and I am Walter White, so that's how I'll do it. I already bought in by just watching the show, so perform it however the hell you want. If Bryan Cranston was being Walter White and just did the whole episode like a high-pitched voice, I don't even think I would notice. I'd just be like, oh, he must be like sick today. Did I miss the part he has, a sore throat? I don't know. So yeah, I don't really care if someone's a good actor. I just like movies. You don't need to show me a compilation of Casey Affleck ripping a cop's gun out of his holster and trying to shoot himself in the head. That's good acting? It's just a very compelling scene. I mean, it's just a great scene in a movie. Because you watch this guy, Manchester by the Sea, Casey Affleck, like, get to the point where he's ready to just kill himself because he just burned his whole family alive in a house. Or his kids, at least. Like, yeah, that would suck. I'd probably want to kill myself, too. But it's not good acting. It's just like, wow, what a great movie. So there we are. Movies are good, and acting is stupid. And I like actors, but I don't really care if you're good or bad. I'll just watch the movie. Carry on, Harrison.
Here's my impression of an episode of Succession. Tom, I don't love you. You don't love me? Why? Why not, Chev? Because you killed my father. You think I killed your father? Why would you say that, Chev? I didn't kill your father. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You were up his ass. You were up his fucking ass. Shit, wow. Now it goes to a montage. Kendall's in the car. Roman's jerking off. Helicopter flies away. Greg watches it all. Lets somebody important know what's going on. And that's the end.
All right, for the last segment on the Harrison Brinker Show, we're going to talk about animal abuse on Instagram. Unfortunately, since I don't have the freaking monitor behind the screen here, we're going to have to just... Actually, I might be able to pull it off. Give me one moment. Okay, whatever, I'm back. Unfortunately, still, I'm not going to have it behind me, but I'm going to have it on my computer here so I can at least kind of focus in your direction to watch these videos. But this is animal abuse on YouTube or Instagram. I'm not pro-animal abuse, but I think when you watch these videos, you realize this is all kind of funny because it's not really animal abuse. Bear with me. I'm breaking the illusion here, but I don't really think this is animal abuse. It's just funny videos involving animals that happen to get hurt. The first one we're going to watch here is this guy practicing his golf swing. I guess I spoil it by telling you there's animals involved, but just watch. Ooh! 4. That cat had 9 lives. Now he's got 4. What else can I say here about this cat? Sir, don't move your back leg when you swing. Although the cat getting involved probably didn't help. That's funny, though. That's funny stuff. That cat is injured. What else we got here? In fact, I found a very similar video to that the other day. I don't really have any much commentary for these videos. This is just all crap I send to myself on Instagram in case I have nothing else to add to the show. I'm like, oh, I'll always have this at least. But I realized a lot of the videos I sent myself were involving animals getting hurt. So let's just get rid of them all so I don't have to keep sending myself this and have freaking PETA get mad at me. Side note, PETA has me blocked on Twitter. That's a story for another time. This guy's gonna practice his swing too. And literally the exact same thing happens. Don't worry, this isn't all involving golf and dogs. But I wish there was one of these that's not in slow motion. Look at this guy though. Let's see, does he move that back leg? Not more than he should, even with the dog involved. I guess you can move your back leg, but, you know, to take a complete step like the last guy did was just idiotic. That's going to screw you up. This guy, it's actually pretty good swing. That dog is, you know, not helping. Let's move on. What else we got? Can I quit? Sorry. What? Sorry. Sorry to use the F word. I hope I probably censored that out. I was pressing that button on my keyboard and it kept bringing up the left click button on my mouse, even though I wasn't left clicking. Okay, this one I can see myself pulling off a little more. Again, this isn't really commentary. So this guy's got a bat in his house, and instead of calling an exterminator or selling his home or burning it, he put on boxing gloves and is ready to kick this bat's ass. And I think you'll be surprised. Oh, I'm going to go. I think you'll be surprised. Watch till the end. You have a good idea of what's going to happen. If I'm showing this to you, he just kicked this bat's ass. Look at that. That's pretty impressive. And I'd be scared for rabies. Shirtless, like I'd be, at least, if I was going to do this, which I wouldn't, I would have like 9 sweatshirts on and a hockey mask. I wouldn't be freaking half naked. But I guess that's the joke. That's why it's funny. It's because this guy really committed to the bit. And you know what? He did kick that bat's ass. Good for him. What else? So here's one more of humans interacting with animals. I'll probably have this video muted because there's freaking Motley Crue music in it. Yada, yada, yada. Let's move it along here, fellas. Anyway, these guys are on a helicopter. Pretty badass. I've always wanted to be in a helicopter ever since I saw the 1960s Batman, and they freaking hung upside down a rope ladder. Look at this guy. Catching fish with his bare hands, jumping out of a freaking helicopter. That's pretty badass. So, obviously, I don't really consider that abuse, even though he's mounting it and grabbing its freaking snout. But it's just freaking cool. It's just cool. I guess there probably are comments on there being like, oh... Never mind. I was expecting some of these comments to be like, oh, you know, that's hurtful to animals and blah, blah, blah. But they all are pretty much like, that's freaking badass. That's awesome. This is wild and impressive. What the hell is this video? These all involve animals.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. All right, deer just did a front flip off a fence in a soccer field, and I think broke its legs. So that's not cool. But it just goes to show, like, I guess, yeah, you could find 100 videos of a cat getting hit by a golf club, or a dog getting hit by a golf club, or a swordfish getting molested by a guy. But animals in general aren't that smart anyway. Here's a video of a deer with no human interference breaking both of its legs off of a tree like a freaking idiot. I guess at the very least you could say there was human involvement in the sense that that chain link fence was there and it wouldn't be there in nature. Yeah, well, you know, when a deer can freaking orchestrate a soccer game, he can start putting fences where we don't want him to anyway. God, that was a stupid joke. Let me try that again. Yeah, I guess you could make an argument that there's human interference because there's a chain link fence in the middle of nature, which I guess a deer wouldn't be used to. But you know what, deer? When you can orchestrate a youth league soccer game, you can put fences wherever you want. That was better. That's called acting. What the hell is this? Oh, okay. Here, I started, but I'll stop it. So I showed you a bunch of videos of people hurting animals on accident, except for the fish guy. That was pretty cool. I then showed you a video of a deer killing itself, basically. But here, to cleanse the palate, is animals getting their revenge. It's this little boy is, ooh! Feeding the deer and gets hit in the back of the head with a freaking hoof. I guess I shouldn't keep spoiling you that the animals are getting their revenge. I should just let you watch the video. But, yeah, you know what? If that makes you feel better, animals do it to us too, so we're not so bad. And you know what? They do it to each other. I'm going to scroll it again. Look at that. Exactly. No problem there. The duck and him are just having a conversation like, hey, don't step on my head. Like, the duck didn't run away. Duck didn't need to sue anybody. The duck's just like, come on, dog. Dog. Like, literally, like, come on, dog. But that's funny. So it's funny to me to watch animals hurt each other. It's funny to me to see a cat get hit by a golf club. It'd be a lot worse. I'd feel worse saying that if it was a video that I looked up like on freaking Live Leak, like guy killing a cat. Like I don't want to watch a video of a guy like slit a cat's throat or like throw a bag of cats at a tree. Of course not. But if a guy's practicing his golf swing and a cat runs in the way and he hits it, sorry, that's funny. You know? If a guy jumps on out of a helicopter onto his swordfish, sorry, that is freaking awesome. That is badass. You rented a helicopter for this? You are cool, my friend. You see, if a deer front flips over a fence and breaks its legs, that's kind of sad, but also, like, deer are stupid. Quit running out in the middle of the road. Quit running into fences. The gate was open, deer. You didn't have to get hoof avulsion or whatever, front flipping your way to your broken legs. And then a dog stepping on a duck's head. That's just funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny. So yeah, there's the end of the animal abuse segment. Hopefully I don't have to keep sending myself videos on Instagram of animals getting hurt because I don't want my cat to get flagged. But that brings us up to what? 32 minutes of this show. Guess what, everybody? We have a special guest for you. I don't know who it is because I haven't talked to anyone yet while I'm filming. But I know it's going to be a good one. So that's all for me. That's all I got in the solo portion of the Harrison Brinker Show. But we have a guest coming up. You already know who it is because they're written in the title of the video or they're probably in the thumbnail or something like that. But be ready for your guest. Blah, 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 blah. See you later.
Hello?
Hello, honey. Hey, Joseph, it's Colin.
Okay, everyone. Colin Blair is back. Welcome back to the show, Colin. Episode 3.
Good to be back.
Good to have you back. I see you at a Coors banquet.
You better believe it. I had to follow in your footsteps.
Cheers, my friend.
I got myself a Coors banquet. Cheers.
Beautiful. Well, everybody, we're going to get right into it here. We're going to do a little screening, a little film Colin and I both produced and starred in and wrote called Popping Corn. Colin, would you like to tell the people what the heck Popping Corn is?
Well, first of all, you wrote it. Don't give me any credit for writing it. This is all you.
I came up with the
when we're
the
watching
web,
this,
the outline maybe.
Just know it's all Harrison's hard work behind the scenes for this movie.
Colin thinks it stinks.
But
that's why he's saying that.
No, it's a spoof of Breaking Bad, and I would like to say me and Harrison did our own version of this before, and I believe we called it Baking Bad.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so this is like the final version of it, but there is like a home version of it that we recorded beforehand that was never finished.
Well, that sets us up perfectly because what we were originally going to do this episode, everybody at home, was from the time we were 11 and 12 years old, Colin and I have been making stupid home movies, and we have all of them saved on hard drives, and I have them on my computer, but I can't screen share them over this software, blah, blah, blah. So we're not doing it right now. We'll figure out how to get it to work so that we can talk to each other over FaceTime and screen share and blah, blah, blah. But just know that eventually you're going to see those two. You're going to see Baking Bad in all its glory. But we're starting at the end here, like Memento. And we're going to show you our magnum opus. And here we go. All right, everybody. Without further ado, Popping Corn.
Today, class, we'll be talking about spaghetti. Now, the first thing you do to make spaghetti...
Now, feel free to give some commentary, Colin.
Anybody? Okay.
So you, of course, is a taped-on mustache.
Noodles. Second, you go to...
You're supposed to be a home ec teacher, by the way. Of course, in the actual Breaking Bad. He's a chemistry teacher, but if we're going to be cooking food, what better, position than a home ec teacher? Quite the cough there.
And picture my entire family watching me from behind the camera when we do that.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see in the reflection of the microwave or anything, but it's right there. Next thing, this took me probably 4 hours.
Yeah, how about this
3 or
editing from
4
Harrison
hours.
right here?
This is the first time I ever used After Effects. It should have taken me like 15 minutes, and this took me all night. And this, of course, is just a shot-for-shot redo of the pilot of Breaking Bad. I think we did okay, though.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear it fine? I actually can't hear it.
Yeah. I can hear it.
If it's too loud, tell me to turn it down, but
No, it's good for me.
Mr.
I'm
White.
turning it up a little bit.
Mr. White,
Yes.
you understand what I just said to you.
Great hair.
Yes. Lung cancer. Inoperable. I'm sorry. I just need to be sure you.
I still hate looking at that hair. I had like, this was during COVID, so I did not cut my hair for like a year and a half, and I just tried to bunch it all up onto the top of my head.
Right there. Right here. Yep. Right there. Yep. Right there.
This is also right in the middle of me like having changed to film in school, so I was super excited to move the camera around.
I cut someone off right there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Hello, honey. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
Completely different parking lot.
Yes, I'm here. I'm meeting him here now.
That's Sheets. I
Yeah.
remember us being at Sheets when we did that.
There's suddenly just trees in the background. Oh, get ready, everybody. You thought it was just going to be Walter
Every
White?
employee that was working there was just watching me, wondering what I was doing here, by the way. They were extremely confused.
Come on in, Walt. What do you think of my new theater? Wow.
Hank,
Nice.
baby.
I like the assortment
There
of
he
food
is,
you got.
asexuator.
Oh, yeah. Check this out. Milk chocolate covered candies. So they don't melt in your hand.
Yes, Hank, I know what an M&M is.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you did.
It's a brand new state-of-the-art popcorn machine.
Wow, that looks very advanced.
Yeah, that's why I started the TEA.
The TEA.
This is
What's
genius.
that?
It's a theater eatery administration. Just basically cracking down on kids taking in their own snacks. Losing all my revenue.
Oh, Hank, it can't be that serious.
Oh, well, you wouldn't believe. These kids are making me lose millions.
Millions.
Yeah, millions with an S.
Wow.
I think that's my favorite line of the entire thing. I'll give
Oh,
Joseph the
hey.
credit for that.
Hey, you little twerp, can't you read the sign?
That's our other cousin, by the way, Joseph. Joseph Lapino.
No outside.
You'll see him a lot more as time goes on. And there I am as Jesse. If you thought I was just going to be a doctor, you were wrong. I think that's in reverse.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, when I crashed
Hey, it's
down.
me. I'm alone. How'd you find me? You were still in our filing system.
Again, just shot for shot remake of the pilot.
I didn't expect you to amount to much, but caramelization?
That's a close
Didn't
second
picture that.
for favorite line.
A lot of money involved in that, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So at the theater today, that wasn't you?
Nope.
That was
Like I said, no
overdubbed.
one is
That took me
looking
like
for
40 tries. Nope.
Look, what are you doing here, Mr. White?
You know the money involved in this. You know the business, and I know the popcorn. I'm thinking you and I could partner up.
Oh yeah? Or what?
Or I turn you in.
Oh boy. Now, I remember showing people this, and they're like, how'd you get that footage? I'm like, oh, that's actually just stolen right from Breaking Bad. We didn't film any of that ourselves. Definitely took some creative liberties with this one.
Oh, look, we finally made it.
Sorry I'm late.
Sorry, my mouse hasn't moved the whole time.
We're cooking.
Not in my garage, we're not.
Jesse, I have a family. We can't cook in my garage.
Mr. White, you ever hear the saying you don't poop where you eat?
Jesse, we're not pooping. We're popping.
Classic Walter White one-liner.
Audience, please know I'm not actually dying of a disease. That's just what my body looks like.
This was a few years ago. Colin's shredded now. I can't remember if we actually... I think we made popcorn when we did this, because I was going to say, other than that, I think it's just us mixing a bunch of random crap together in your kitchen. And just throwing it all in the trash.
I can't hear you at all.
Oh, I just said, I can't remember if we actually made popcorn or not. I think we must have, because other than that, it would just been us throwing a bunch of crap together in your kitchen.
Yeah.
And just been like, oh, sorry if you needed that cream of tartar. Can you hear me fine now?
Wait, what?
Can you hear me all right?
I can barely hear you.
Ah! Technical difficulties here, audience. Is that just the music, or have you not been able to hear me the entire time?
I mean, you've been really quiet the whole time.
Oh,
But
good.
with the music, it doesn't help.
Yeah, well, that's alright. I'll mute it for right now anyway. Because it's just music. What do you
Okay.
think, everybody at home? You think this is incredible? You should.
We made some great caramel corn when we did this, by the way.
I know, I think
That's
we
how this
made
all
like
started.
6 batches.
Yeah, we made caramel corn, and then we said this should be a Breaking Bad movie, but making popcorn instead.
Making pop. Now here this is filmed in reverse, and you can tell because I'm not wearing oven mitts. Here we go. We'll go back to normal.
Mr. White, this is like the purest batch I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm glad it is acceptable.
Acceptable?
I still hate my
I
acting.
couldn't spit
man.
that line
Why are you
out.
judging, Mr. White? I mean,
Acceptable?
this is art. I gotta try some of this.
Jesse, that's not for eating. That's for selling.
Who am I supposed to sell it to, huh?
You handle the
You
business.
handle the business, Jesse.
All right. I think I know a guy who.
So we do rip-offs of the pilot for the first half of the movie, and now from now to the end is all the rest of the season's crammed into like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesse, what is this? There can't be more than $3,000 here. Last week it was 5.
Yeah, it's 2,500.
I changed the way I talk throughout the entire
We had a
movie.
bit of trouble.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
My boy, Colonel.
Colonel
Yeah,
Colonel,
yeah.
I still think is another genius line.
Colonel, as in our chief distributor, Colonel.
Yeah, he was selling some PC on the wrong side of town.
That's
I
popcorn
guess.
for everybody at home.
It was a territory thing. Guys robbed him, clipped him.
Jesse, how are we supposed to have a successful business if the person in charge of our business cannot keep his own soldiers alive for more than 2 weeks?
Hey, you're gonna make this my fault? A friend of mine dies.
Wow, a lot of
By
emotion.
the way, even after I told him not to go on that side of town, and you're telling me this is my fault.
Jesse, we just cooked 40 pounds of popcorn, and our chief distributor is not dead. So I'm sorry if I'm a little frustrated.
Look, I know I'm in charge of the business, but you're smart. You're telling me you don't know anyone, no teachers, your brother-in-law that you could sell this stuff to?
Jesse, my brother-in-law is a TEA agent.
You mean a DEA agent?
Good question.
No, the TEA, the Theater Eatery Administration. He specializes in Twizzlers, snow caps, and especially popcorn.
That's perfect.
think
And
I
that's
know.
all Harrison's idea, everybody. That's perfect.
Unless it stinks. And then we split it 50-50.
Gentlemen, why are we here?
So Uncle Paul wearing every single outfit at once.
want me to call it, Jesse? That's what it was. A
How about you
setback.
call it your fault?
Don't put that on me.
It was your idea.
Whoa, what do I have to babysit you clowns? Come on.
He saved the movie.
So,
We were gonna give up midway through,
well,
and
what's the real
he
problem?
reminded us.
The problem is
How
we
good
have
this
no
could be.
distribution. We have no way of getting our product out on the street.
Okay, well, we suffered a little setback here. I understand this. One of our guys was killed, our chief distributor. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a common thing in our business. So what do we need to do to move forward on this?
I understand
How much product
this.
do we have?
About 40.
40 grams.
40 pounds.
40 pounds of popcorn. Fellas, what's the problem here? We're sitting on a gold mine.
Problem is we have no distribution. We need infrastructure. We need numbers. We need foot soldiers.
Okay, well let's reason this out.
First of all,
you guys suck. You can't do that. What we need is we need a guy that's been in the business for 20 years without getting caught.
You know someone like that?
Let's just say he's a friend of a friend of a friend. Let me make a few phone calls here.
Uncle Paul had never seen Breaking Bad, by the way. We gave him a 1-minute rundown. He got it instantly, exactly how to play this.
Yeah. Luckily, Granddad had that flip phone we could use.
Coolest shot of the whole movie.
Now we're getting.
Sure, this is the place.
What, the trunk or this coming up?
I'd say us walking up.
Sorry, I keep turning my head.
Is that
on
your
the
hat,
screen.
by the way? I can't remember.
Yeah. I got that for. I dressed as the Riddler for Homecoming one year, and I bought that.
What's this guy's name again?
Paul does not know his name. We're just reading him here.
Do you even know what he looks like?
Paul does not know
I
his
swear
name.
There's 50 people in this restaurant.
Just calm down. This is the right place.
Restaurant sounds really self-scene.
Hello.
No one would think we're just sitting in your kitchen, unless we go to this angle,
Yes.
and you can see your living room.
What are you wearing that stuff for anyway?
Jesse, I am a high school home ec teacher, and this is a public place. I cannot be seen doing a popcorn deal. Gentlemen, are you sure everything is to your satisfaction?
Yeah, thank you.
I am back. Excuse me?
Excuse me?
It's me. My name is Tony. You must be Walt.
Oh, yes, yes. Nice to meet you, Mr. Tony.
Likewise.
I mean, this is a very funny.
Jesse Brinkman, yo.
It's a very funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
The idea, like Gus
I heard a gentleman
playing that character the whole time, but just gets sick of it after like 10 seconds. Like, all right, I'm the guy.
Jesse,
Yes, yes, please sit.
So I heard you guys.
And then this, it's not obvious that Joseph is sitting in my
Yeah.
chair. I think people watch that and just think it's a booth, but he's supposed to be like sitting on my lap.
40 pounds. It's all there.
very good. Now, I'm going to make a gentleman an offer. How does $1 million
He talks like a
months for
Japanese
funds?
man, just with no accent.
Million?
I am going to make you gentlemen an offer. Good thing we showed it at his feet, otherwise where would that have come from?
Is that too late?
It's one of my favorite lines. Is that your lucky?
I think I spent like $10 on that, all that fake money, just to be like, we're gonna have a perfect shot, and it worked. So Joseph plays Hank and Gus, or Tony.
Yeah, don't get confused.
Which I guess we didn't even explain that. Why is he not just Gus? But that'll come in later when you see the other home movies. We have an Uncle Tony that Joseph did a spoof of like 6 years ago, and then we brought it back. Keeping in mind that we only really show this to our family, unless it's as good as they ended up turning out. Now we'll show them to you guys. This was one of my favorite parts. Anything just going out in public is always
Yeah,
fun.
I think I was gonna say. I think this is actually my favorite part. This part is awesome.
This always gets a laugh. And people were like, "Did you actually do that?" Like, no, we didn't actually do that. That's all fake butter.
Like this right here.
But there was a lady like right next to him.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
ask. Were people watching him do that? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, there was a lady right behind him just waiting to get in the butter, and he just
Yeah,
threw
one
it all in
second,
the
please.
cart.
A Breaking Bad inspired
Gotta
shot
rip
right
off
there.
Breaking Bad. There we go. I like this too, the handout.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just stroking my own ego. It's subtle,
Yeah.
but I like it. But I enjoy it. That'll come up later. But uh-oh. So Hank's, you know, going after the popcorn guy, whoever it may be, doing his own investigation. But, of course, he has to close up shop because no one's buying popcorn anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how
this
hard
is
it
a
is
great
to follow this
idea.
movie.
It's such a great idea.
I'm just nervous that no one can follow it. I'm like, I know how it goes. We sat
Yeah.
and explained the entire thing to each other. Okay, so now Joseph's Tony again.
Your new lad.
And we built this set from scratch.
Gentlemen, your General Electric stove, as well as a ventilation system, as well as large countertops for cooking.
Good.
Now here are your state-of-the-art popcorn. Now, gentlemen, if you need anything else, feel free to ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and one more thing. Do not go upstairs. Other than that, it's cooked.
We probably said this before, but it's just funny, too, where it's like, well, where did we just come from? We just had a shot of us coming from the upstairs. But I think originally we were going to get a shot of, like, the basement doors at Granny's house, like the outdoor doors that go into the basement. We were going to do
Oh,
that, and we just never did.
Okay. I don't
So it would
remember
have made
that.
some kind of sense. I think it was locked, and somebody didn't want to get it open.
And
Here
you
we go,
bought
another
these-
montage.
You bought these suits and masks, by the way, which I should reimburse you for now that I think about it.
No need, my friend. I got
What
them
a
at
good
home.
purchase. I mean, these are hilarious.
They're functional too. That was so yeah. One time, my friend was over at my house and wanted to clean my bathroom, and she just put every single chemical in the bathtub, and it made like a bomb. So I slept with that mask on. So luckily, I still had it.
Nice.
So this is the upstairs that Tony doesn't want you to see. I guess it is a little easier when we show it to our family because they can watch it and know exactly where this is taking place. But this is supposed to be the upstairs.
High level shot right here.
But it's funny though, because this was like, I still had no idea how to edit. Like, if you let me do that now, it would have looked a lot better. But I can't be upset. I was still learning. Yeah, I think that was just Joseph holding up the tripod and just lowering, like holding the legs and just pulling it down. And we were watching Sopranos nonstop, so we were like, put some Sopranos in there too.
Yeah.
Which I guess it would have been funnier if you were just watching Breaking Bad.
Can I get you beer, soda, water? No, I'm good, Hank.
Why'd you call me over here?
And I have a goatee now, please notice. It's not a mustache anymore.
Oh yeah,
That's horrible. Why? I guess the popcorn just ain't popping like it used to.
the popcorn ain't popping like it used to.
Well, some of these guys have been making their own stuff around town and bringing it in my theater, and I'm losing
Money
a
you
lot
need, I
of
can
money.
help.
Making
Alright,
their
kick it
own
out of myself.
stuff. Who would do that? I'm not sure, but I can tell I'm on this guy's trail and I'm this close to finding him.
Well, Hank, if it's
Uh-oh,
money
Walt's
that's the
scared.
problem, I can help
Walt
you.
wants him off the case.
Walt, don't even worry about it.
Hank, you're family. I insist. I can help
No.
you.
I can't put that on you. With your treatment and the bills and everything, I'd feel horrible doing that.
Hank, trust me. If it's money you need, I can help you.
Don't worry about it. No.
Goatee hanging
taking your
halfway off his face.
Well, if there's anything you need, Hank, you can always come to me.
Well, appreciate that, Walt.
Well,
We'll do it.
All right. Good to see you. Tell Skylar I'm hi.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
So we take it from the top.
Get some ukuleles.
We'll use a ukulele.
Now that's a show.
That was perfect timing. And that was before I'd even seen The Sopranos, so I didn't appreciate it back then.
Hang on a second. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. Actually, still am, so I can't see it on the screen because Jason's trying to call me. But I'll wait for him to hang up. And it's not going back. All right. Hang on. Well, we'll keep it filming, but I have to get up so I can actually see what's going on. Because the apple's in the oven. Sorry, everybody.
So, Walt, can I get you a drink?
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
This is another. I mean,
This is,
these are all my favorite scenes.
important
Can
for
all of them be my
Tennessee,
favorite?
I think.
No, I'm
Oh,
fine.
I stepped on that
My neighbor
line.
just had to weed whack
You know, I
while we
can't
were
believe I'm not seeing this. Kind of glad Netflix came around.
I stepped over one of my other
If you go to
favorite
the movie
lines.
theater, I
This
wouldn't
is
expect you to
imported
say
from
that.
Tennessee, I think.
Yeah, me neither. It's just,
Oh, sorry.
No, not you,
back
me.
in the day, Blockbuster used to be the big thing, driving all my customers away. As soon as Netflix came around, it's like, I don't know, all the Blockbusters shut down. It's like full circle, sort of. You know, I think movie theaters are gonna be the next big thing.
Really?
Yeah, kind of like a circle of life.
Really?
Nah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. How's the family doing, Walt?
Oh, the family's good. Everyone's doing fine.
Yeah, how about work?
Oh, work keeps my mind off of cancer, so...
Now
I'm
Heather's
good.
calling me. All right, sorry, audience. I have to
You know, I
keep
couldn't
getting
even believe the news when I heard it.
Yeah, well...
Right on cue.
You gonna get that?
Oh, no, that's okay. I'll let that go.
You sure? What if it's emergency?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Work keeps my mind off the
Actually,
cancer, so
think
I
will
enjoy it.
take a break. I'll be right back.
All right.
Uh-oh. What was that, Walt? Longest ringtone ever.
Jesse, what is the problem?
Mr. White, you gotta get down to the lab right now, man.
Jesse, I can't be there right now. I'm with family.
And that too,
You
we
might not
filmed
have
like
a family,
that
you
shot
don't
of
get
me. I
down
think
there
is
right
like the
now.
last
Trust
thing we
me, man,
filmed,
It's important.
or one of, if not, the end of the movie.
Be right there.
Yeah.
But I think that was while we were editing it because we were supposed to. I can't remember. We were supposed to go somewhere else to film that, and then we just filmed it. That's where the doctor's office was in the beginning. If you saw me on the phone, we just filmed that all in the same place. Guy's still weed whacking right over Hank's realization.
Jesse, what is the problem?
Mr. White, I went upstairs.
Upstairs? We were told not to go upstairs.
I know, but I went up there and I saw something that I think you're gonna want to see too, Mr. White. It's pretty important.
That's the real Tony, by the way. So
Yeah,
now,
yeah, Joseph is dressed as that man right there.
I just figured you'd want to see for yourself.
It's Tony. With my brother-in-law.
And I think that was one of the last shots we shot too, because we were
What
at,
do you think?
Oh,
we were at
yeah.
Granny's that last night.
But what about the humidity outside? About how oil prices are so high? The fact that Tony is a picture of my brother-in-law. He knows my family, Jesse.
I just don't get why Tony would have a picture with your brother-in-law.
I don't know, as a threat?
You don't think Tony would hurt Hank, do you?
We make him way too much money. He would do whatever he could to keep me cooking in that lab.
it's a pretty good scene. I like the light.
Yeah.
The whole reason I started this was to provide for my family. To protect my family. It can't be the reason they get hurt.
Some real emotion there.
Yeah, I'm acting my ass off it.
I will say, and I've said this. I don't know if I've said it to you. I've said this to other people. You're an incredible actor.
Still know how to hot wire a
Oh,
car.
thank you. I remember trying extremely hard in this movie. I wanted it to be great.
Obviously, I did not have the same thought. After changing accents 9 different times.
It looks like a receipt.
Yeah. Receipt I found at your
There's
house.
a good toss coming up.
I'm not sure what to say, Hank.
Let's take a look at it.
Hey, that's in reverse too. That might not be. The outside one is for sure. Just a little funsy onesies for everybody at home.
12 sticks of butter, 2 pounds of popcorn kernels, 3 gallons of vegetable oil.
What are you getting at here, Hank?
Ooh!
Gotta say, I don't like the way you're looking at me.
It was you all along. Hey, calm down, calm down. With the popcorn, the theater, going around my family.
Hank, these wild accusations, they could destroy our family.
Oh, forget family. You didn't care about family this whole time. How is your popcorn so much better than mine? I just don't get it.
If that's true, if you don't know how my popcorn is better than yours, maybe your best course would be the butter lightly.
That was your doing, my friend. I probably
Was
stole
that?
it.
I was gonna ask. I thought that was you. I couldn't remember who came up with that.
No, you came out. I think I have the text somewhere. You saying, "What if it was butter lightly?" Here we go. This is a staple. The parking garage is a staple in all the movies, so get used to it, everybody. It's a genius effect.
Perfect. Oh no!
In hindsight, we should have really blown up the car.
Yeah, I agree.
Hello?
I think this is just me talking off camera and then just changing out sounds.
What'd you do?
I popped.
And then this too, I was so nervous that I wasn't gonna be able to catch it in the frame. So I'm like, oh shit, that's the only phone we got. Oh yeah. I'm glad you didn't get nervous or there or whatever, like start walking away, because I don't think I said how far away I was gonna go. And as I started walking, I'm like, I'll just keep going. Round of applause.
Oh, that's
everybody.
great.
Oh,
I haven't sat down and watched that in a long time.
Yeah, Poppin' Corn is definitely our best work.
And what a great end song. I know you picked the ending song, but I mean, it's perfect. And like now, every day after work, you know this, but like every day after work on Friday, when I'm leaving, I play that song from this movie. It's just perfect. It's the perfect ending song to anything.
I know, yeah. But that's the Black Keys, Psychotic Girl, everybody at home who thought that was nice. Yeah, that is a freaking good song. They don't miss.
I remember wanting it to be Hard as Your Hopes, but then you showed me that one, and that was just perfect. Do you remember that?
No.
Because I think that was the one I said it should be, but then we found that one. But yeah, I mean that's perfect right there.
It reminds me a lot of that, what's that song, Black, by Norah Jones, that's in the end of season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Face Off. Yeah, that sounds like it fits right in Breaking Bad, but it doesn't. It fits in Popping Corn, everybody. That's right. Our best work. But that's it. That's 30 minutes. I don't know. Now that I think about it, if I will cut that up or not, it'll just depend on how it goes. You, the audience at home, knows because it's out as they're watching this. But that might be able to go up as its own thing. And then we have we have hours and hours of other crap if we want to just do one at a time some other times. But we'll start.
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud, this is going up all at once. Everyone at home already knows. And from now on, when Colin returns, we'll be watching one home movie per.
And they
per
all
show.
led to Popping Corn.
Yeah, so you're getting
All
the
led up to
end,
this
and you
right
can
here.
see it building up and up and up, and they get better. They only get better as time goes on. They get stupid when we're young because we don't know anything. They're hilarious. They're just about nothing, but they get better and better. And that's the last thing I think we did. We have all the footage. We have there is a script, like a 90-page script that I wrote, and we all got together to film it, but we only filmed like 10 pages of it. So
Oh yeah.
maybe I have all the footage though. If maybe one day we watch that and just kind of break
Yeah.
down. Or
Yeah,
ooh,
because
yeah.
what?
Go on. Or I was gonna say we could do a table read and just
That's a
act
good
out
idea.
the parts.
That is a fantastic idea, actually.
Thinking out loud here.
Yeah, but I was going to say, because as we got older, Harrison started writing the scripts entirely. But for Popping Corn, I don't think you wrote a script, did
No.
you?
We had
Yeah,
an outline, and that was it.
Yeah, like every day you would write out, okay, like here's what we're gonna shoot. It's gonna be these points, and let's just improv or however we did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's no script the way we did this one.
I'm sure I still have that. I don't think I would have thrown that away, the outline, because we had, like, we knew each scene, but yeah, I think it was like, it would be you and Joseph out on the deck filming that scene, like where the guy's weed whacking, and then we're like, hey, just get to these points, and you guys practice through it, and we kind of just like, okay, that worked, that didn't work, this worked, and I think we just would practice it, like, after we have, like, what we want to do, we would practice it, and then just film it, and then that would be it. And then maybe get another angle and do it again.
Yeah.
But each of those...
I remember doing multiple takes at different angles,
Yeah. If you couldn't tell by my acting, those are all, like, 1 or 2 takes. But that was a lot of fun.
I mean, no script, like, as you'll all soon see. Like, when we had a script, like, it's very obvious I'm just reciting words from a script. I was not the best actor as a young man. But this, I mean, it's more natural, I would say. So, I mean, this turned out great.
Yeah, Popping Corn is freaking incredible. I think, now this is just setting up for all the other videos we're going to show eventually. But yeah, like, now that we showed you the end with no script, all the ones when we're 11 also have no script. And then we did, I think it was our sophomore year of high school, maybe junior year of high school, we did Always Sunny, an Always Sunny spoof. So I guess this wasn't the first spoof. We spoofed Always Sunny, and those are, like, some of my favorite. That was real deal. I think those were the first ones we wrote a script for.
Yeah, I think they are.
But then even, like, eventually deciding to, hey, let's film around town. Let's not just film in your basement. Yeah. So we'll show everybody from start to finish all the crap we made, but you can tell as time goes on when we figure out, like, how to actually make it better. It's just funny that the last one we do that's the best, we're like, we don't need a script for this one. But we didn't, and we pulled it off.
Yep.
And the only confusing thing for anyone is just, like, they don't know our family. But that's it. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
I know, like, because like Joseph Stress was our uncle, but nobody knows that. but he's talking as Gus does, so which is funny.
Yeah, but it makes it easier. Just pretend he's Gus.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say when we were filming this, because you and Joseph were just here on vacation, but I was still working every day. So the way it worked was every day I would get home at 3:30 or whatever, and we would immediately start filming this. Because that was the only time we had to do it.
Yeah.
So I would get home, as soon as I walked in the door, I'd say, okay, here's the outline for today. Let's go do it. So that's why it's dark in some of those shots, because we could only do it at the second half of the day or whatever.
Well, yeah,
and I was going to ask...
Or yeah, go ahead.
Or sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Well, just speaking of work, because I edited this, like, in real time. I didn't wait to have all the footage and then put it together. Like, while you were at work, I would just edit everything. Because I think we generally filmed it in order.
I think we did.
So I would just edit it while you were at work, and then that way, whatever next there was to film would just go right into what was already edited. So that made it easy.
Yeah, because that last shot, that was literally like, it was everyone's last night. We were all at Granny's house, and we left to go do that shot. So, like, we literally, that was the very last thing we did, and that was perfect.
Because
I was going to ask for that one scene. When we were at Sheets in the parking lot, I was gonna ask if you remember when I just said, I'm reading him here now. That part. I remember because I got home from work and we went to Sheets to get food, and I was just wearing my normal clothes. I wasn't dressed up in my outfit or anything. Then we got in the car and you were like, okay, while we're here, how about you go put on the outfit and we'll film this 2-second shot real quick. I remember being so mad. Do you remember this at all?
Mad?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll go do that. Like, I made it. I remember doing that. I don't know what my problem was. I mean, it literally took 2 seconds, but I remember at that part specifically, I was like, God, I really don't want to put on the freaking mustache right now.
Just because you're in public, or like you were just bored?
No, I must have just been agitated from work or whatever. I just wasn't in the mood at that point. I just wanted to eat my sandwich.
I don't remember that at all. I don't think you ever told me that. But I remember saying...
I don't know what my deal was.
Well, first of all, I was going to say, back to the Uncle Tony thing, like, our Uncle Tony has a van, which you'll see in other movies, and we were going, like, the spoof was that Joseph was Uncle Tony, and we were going to have his van blow up. But we called him, like, 40 times the last day we had to shoot, and we were like, we need to get this shot. And he didn't answer, so then we drove to the parking garage and just filmed that in your car. So that car that explodes is Colin's car.
I don't remember that at all. I didn't know it was supposed to be the van.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, he just wouldn't. He would not answer. But he's like, "Yeah, if you guys need any help, let me know." And we're like, "Okay, yeah, could use some help." And he's just like, AWOL. But we made it work.
Yeah.
But I remember at the beginning, and I haven't like directed anything else really, other than just like stupid school assignments. This is the last thing I like went out of my way to just make for fun, which is sad because it's been like 4 years. Anyway, but the other than the Harrison Brinker Show, but I remember at the beginning, because we filmed other stuff before, and I always just got nervous, like, hope I'm not an a-hole, I don't want to be rude, like, but we just got to get this done. But I think I specifically said at the beginning to you and Joseph, like, look, I'm going to be an asshole, and you're going to hate me, because it's going to be annoying to film this stuff over and over. But trust me, when it's done, it'll be the best thing we've ever done, and you can forget that I was an asshole for 2 weeks. So even if you were mad,
100% right.
I'm okay with that. But it's like we got it to the like because by the end of it we had a freaking perfect popping corn spoof.
Oh yeah, it turned out perfect. But yeah, that was the only part I remember being mad about, and I don't know what my deal was. But yeah, I just remember that one specific part. I was like, God, not now. I don't want to do this right now.
I know. Unfortunately, I flushed all my memories out, but I'm sure there was 100 being behind the camera, 100 different things where I'm like, it should just be this way, but fine, we'll do it this way. But I don't know specifically. But it's funny to watch that and be like, yep, messed up there. Yep, I remember editing that and being annoyed. Like, not at you guys, but just like, oh, we should have done this. We should have waited for that guy to stop weed whacking. Like, stuff like that. Yeah. But it gives it character. It's fun. I mean, if we were submitting this to a festival, I probably would have thought twice. But it's just like, no one's ever going to see this anyway except us and our parents.
Yeah.
But now the world can see it. And if you want to watch the full thing without us talking over it, it's on... I'll leave the link in the description or something. It's on my personal YouTube channel, but you can just watch it if you want to. And you can do a rip-off of Popping Corn about guys that cook crystal meth. Oh, we didn't even mention a year ago. So we filmed that 4 years ago. I think it says 2021. We filmed that 4 years ago.
2021. Yep.
And last year, freaking Popcorners or whatever the heck that chip is called, they did a Breaking Bad spoof about selling popcorn. We're like, this is all, he stole my whole flow, bar for bar, line for line.
Literally, that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if it was popcorn? This would be crazy. Yeah, and then 3 years later, 3 years after the fact, Popcorners is like, you guys, we should do like Breaking Bad popcorn. It's been done.
Yeah, when you see that commercial, just know we did that 4 years ago. Okay? That was our idea.
Yeah, we might actually. Yeah, we should sue. We have the evidence. It was uploaded long enough ago.
I mean, it's literally exactly what we did. It could not be more exact. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's not like we sold Chips Ahoy and we're like, well, it's not meth, but it's still Breaking Bad. No, we sold popcorn.
Yeah.
And this was made in 2021, but the first one, like you said earlier, like that was probably 2018, 2019. Like that had to have, I'm guessing that was still high school. I don't know. Maybe it was still freshman year. I want to assume we were younger because it seems stupider, but from the last time you were on the show, we talked about all the crap we did even to up till age 18, pooping in diapers. Like, I wouldn't put it past us if we were 22 years old, being like, what if it was like popcorn?
But I know, it's funny, because like I said, because you were just up for Christmas break, and we were just making caramel corn, and then I don't know how it came about, but we decided, it kind of feels like we're in Breaking Bad, the way we're cooking this. And then we just filmed that little movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, whatever, the software crap's not working. I have to have a video on YouTube so Colin can hear the audio, because Mac doesn't let you share your desktop audio, blah, blah, blah. But I have that video on my computer. I was watching it the other day. So it's on my computer still. It's only like 3 minutes. So either I'll throw it in at the end here, or next week when we do another sit down and watch a video with Harrison and Colin, I'll throw that in, because it's just short. It's seriously just, it's the scene of him at the doctor, and then us doing a montage of cooking popcorn. I think it's still like a Beastie Boys song. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know if there's anything. And then like the scene of Walter and Jesse being like, caramelization? So everything in that is in this one. So even that, you can just see, like, I think that might have been the first one too, where we filmed it and then redid it. Like everything else was usually like, here, I have a funny idea. Okay, let's film it real quick. And then that was, and then we never touched it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it aged well.
Yeah, but seriously, every time I watch it, it reminds me, like, this is such a good idea, actually. Like, a guy owning a movie theater, like, your main revenue comes from the popcorn and the snacks and whatever, but someone's out there making their own, and you lose it all. Like, it's a good idea, and it's so funny.
And he's the head of the TEA, no less. So he's obsessed with Twizzlers, Snowcaps, and especially popcorn, as you said. So yeah, this was a big deal.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Joseph even says millions. I'm losing millions with an S. Yeah, that is freaking hilarious. That one I know for sure. Joseph came up with that line.
We need Joseph to rewatch this again. I wonder when the last time he watched it.
That's not a bad idea. We'll get a three-way call going one of these episodes coming up, and we'll sit and watch like Always Sunny or like the superhero movie or something.
That would be funny. That would be fun.
Beautiful. Well, everybody. Unless you got anything else to add, any other memories that pop up? I think that's all I have.
No, I got nothing.
Well, all right, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this special, 45-minute interview. I didn't cut anything out. I don't think I will. And that's Colin Blair. For everybody who doesn't remember, who can't read the title, that this episode's featuring Colin Blair. You got anything to plug? Do you have any shows coming up or anything?
I got nothing to plug. I'm just a ghost out here. I have literally nothing going on.
Well,
I just show up on this show and watch these old movies.
Well, if you want to see Colin more, he'll be on episodes to come. Don't worry, because even if we stop liking each other, he's got a contractual obligation to show up for at least the next 40 episodes while we still have movies to watch. So he'll be around, everybody. But that's it. That's it for the end of episode 3 of the Harrison Brinker Show. Hope you all enjoyed. Colin, thank you for joining me. As always.
It's a pleasure as always. Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you all